What's good, YouTube? It's Nas and we're back with another video. Road to 600 subscribers, of course. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about day 14 of the NBA season. I wanted to make this last night, but let's just get it over with now. And Giannis, game winner, post-fade, game winner. The Knicks beat the Wizards. Cat has a dominant game. He completely dominated Alex R. Jaylen Brown, fourth quarter takeover, not enough to beat the Utah Jazz last night. Keontae George, 30 points. Cade and the Pistons beat the Grizzlies. It's crazy how Cade is better than Ja this quickly. I don't think there's any debate that Cade is better than Ja. Maybe if y'all want to debate it, I don't know. Rockets beat the Mavs. Amen Thompson, 27 points. Coop is still trying to figure it out. The Lakers get it done against the Trailblazers. No Luka, no AR. Impactful Bronny minutes is what I wrote down. Let's just get into it. The Nuggets beat the Kings. Jokic 34, 7 and 14. The Heat beat the Clippers. Norman Powell returns. And the Timberwolves beat the Nets. So first game I'm going to be talking about is the Bucks versus the Pacers, because this was Miles Turner's return, and I'm pretty sure this was the first game of the day, which I started watching last night. And yeah, I felt it crazy that they decided to boo Miles Turner. I get it. I completely understood after what Miles was saying in their interviews, blah, 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 before or after he left. And when you really look at it, he spent 10 years there. He was in the trade block every single season. I still don't blame Miles Turner for leaving. Don't get it twisted. But for them to boo him after that, it really didn't make sense to me, even though I expected it to happen. But Miles Turner had 5 blocks in his return. Giannis Antetokounmpo, game winner. Like I said, he had 33 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. I knew Giannis was going to come out aggressive after losing that game against the Sacramento Kings, which they shouldn't have lost. And Giannis, you can't stop Giannis going to the rim. You could build a wall, you could try to. That's what you've noticed over the last couple seasons with Giannis. There's just no stopping him once he gets in the playmaking bag, because honestly, he could really have a triple-double like Jokic if his teammates finish his shots, because there's a lot of times where Giannis kicks it out after his drive and they just don't finish his assists, which is kind of insane to me how you don't finish a play like that. But anyway, Pascal Siakam finished with 32 points tonight. And honestly, there's going to be a lot of games like this. But yeah, the Pacers are just going to show fight, because the Pacers are still a team without their best players, or without their rotation, really, are still a team that's going to fight you to the end. You're not going to get an easy win from the Indiana Pacers. That's just not going to happen. But the next game I'm going to talk about is Jaylen Brown's takeover. Because why not? Because Jaylen Brown was stinking it up in the first half, and then the fourth quarter he brings the Celtics obviously in a dogfight against the Utah Jazz, which just got blown out by the Charlotte Hornets. And really not a good game for anybody on the Celtics except for really Jaylen Brown. And still, Jaylen Brown was fake, not efficient tonight. So there's going to be a lot of games like this for the Bulls and Celtics. They better get used to it. But Jaylen Brown finished with 36 points, and it wasn't enough to beat the Jazz, which Keontae George had 31 points. He began to take over, and there was a controversial trip call which happened during there where Jaylen Brown did get tripped, and the refs just decided to ignore that shit. And then that's how the Jazz took the lead ultimately and ended up winning the game. So I'm not going to honestly say the Celtics are really the losers here, but they lost. So what more can you say? Next, talking about the Los Angeles Lakers getting it done without Luka and Austin. And this was a great game to access the talent which is on the Los Angeles Lakers. You got Jake LaRavia having a good game, even though he didn't pull up the stats like he does with Luka and AR. You have Rui Hachimura having 28 points. You got DeAndre Ayton having 29 and 10. And then the most likely person that all Lakers fans are talking about is Nick Smith Jr. having 25 points coming off the bench and on a 2-way deal. And coming out of Charlotte, he had a lot of, I wouldn't say he had a lot of good games, but he had some good games, and then some were trash games. But tonight he showed his offensive talent and why he is most likely going to get a roster spot with the Los Angeles Lakers. I just don't think you having a performance like this and you're not getting a roster spot, it really wouldn't make sense to me. But yeah, and I saw impactful Bronny minutes. Yes, he is still lacking on the offensive end. Don't get it twisted, but his defense came up huge when Marcus Smart had to be relieved for some minutes because Marcus Smart had 5 fouls. Bronny's playmaking, he has 6 assists with 0 turnovers tonight. Yes, the scoring is not there at all, and it still looks like he's scared to obviously score the ball, but at the same time, he hit a 3. He hit a 3 and he had a layup. So I feel like if Bronny wants to keep getting these minutes, he has to he has to control the margins, if that makes sense. Like, whatever you can't make up for on your offensive side of the ball or your scoring side of the ball, like, make up for your playmaking, make up for your defense, because coming out of the draft, that was what his best asset, his defense. So him continuing to prove that he could be a good defender or even a great defender in this league will probably help his career last, if that makes sense. But next, getting into the Grizzlies versus Pistons, and the Pistons, yeah, I already know the Pistons are a good team, but honestly, I was looking forward to the battle of Ja Morant versus Cade Cunningham. Ja Morant coming off his 1-game suspension, and I just saw an interview where it said Ja lost his joy for basketball, and I saw a joke where they said Ja is taking the Jimmy Butler route, which is kind of crazy, but yeah, it just doesn't look like Ja is enjoying basketball. It doesn't look like he's motivated to play basketball, and he honestly, quite frankly with you, doesn't even look like the same player that was last year at the end of the season where Ja Morant started to catch a rhythm. I thought maybe he'll come into the season like that, but no, it hasn't been that way at all since the first game of the season, where I'm like, okay, Ja, maybe you can return to your 2022 self. And right now, it just looks like it'll never happen. And when you want to be honest, like, what team could use Ja Morant in a trade? Like, because the number of assets that you're going to have to give up for a player like Ja Morant might not be worth it if Ja Morant can't return to being this all-star level player. Because I see some people even saying that or even asking the question, is he a top 10 point guard? And that's insane to me, because just think about like 3 years, Ja Morant was on top of the world at like what, 22, 23, and now he's like 25, 26, and we having these conversations. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, Cade had a good game. Cade had 33 points and 8 assists, just completely outplaying Ja. Ja had 18 points and 10 assists, but the 18 points came off of terrible efficiency. So really, what does that matter? But the Knicks beat the Wizards. Cat had 33 and 13, the same stats as Giannis. I'm seeing that go around. Dominated Alex Sarr. He just put Alex Sarr in the weight room all game. Like, that shit was crazy. The Rockets beat the Mavs. Amen Thompson, 27 points. That's what I wrote down. The Nuggets beat the Kings. Jokic had his masterclass. Finally had a 30-piece this season. 34, 7 and 14. Not a triple-double, but yeah. And Westbrook had 26 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists, showing why he should have been on an NBA team in July, and showing why, like, it was stupid for even people to act like he wasn't an NBA player, because I ain't gonna lie, he's my favorite player, but I try not to be biased when I'm talking about Russell Westbrook. And I acknowledge that he's not the same player. He still has some efficiency issues. He has a turnover problem. I know that. But to say that he isn't at least a backup point guard, even a starting caliber player, because he looks better than Dennis Schroeder. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. So how do you even assess this? But honestly, Russell Westbrook's just playing good basketball right now, so I'm not going to even jinx it. But the Timberwolves beat the Nets, and the Heat beat the Clippers. Norman Powell's returned, 21 points. Bam Adebayo continues his aggressiveness. He has 25 points and 10 rebounds. Again, he was hitting the midi a few times. Bam Adebayo might return to the All-Star game this season, the way he's playing right now, and the way the Heat are playing right now. But yeah, this was day 14 of the NBA season. I'm posting this at around 3:30 or 4. Because I honestly couldn't post it last night because the Wi-Fi issues in my dorm is crazy. But let me know, what was your favorite game of last night if y'all watched this video. And yeah, subscribe. What's good, y'all? If y'all made it to the end of the video, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And there's a video right here. I'm pretty sure you're going to like it if you like this one. And the channel icon's right there if you want to just check out the channel in general. And yeah, leave a like too, because it really helps the algorithm push me out. And yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching this video nonetheless.